Journalists within the video game industry are constantly looking for a way to trash indie and double A's while defending triple A's because it's the only way that they're still slightly relevant in the world of video games. And now they're trying to find another angle in which they can attack Expedition 33 and demean the developers. And this time it's calling into question its use of AI. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, there were a lot of people that were very upset within the world of video games because of Claire Obscure's sweep at the Game Awards. They felt that it was unfair that this title won so many different things and dominated all of these categories and really proved that AAA slop is out and indie and AA games are what people actually want to consume now, but they're bringing back up its use of AI placeholders and how unfair it is to developers who actually put so much work and effort into their games, while also being very selective about the information they're sharing on social media because it doesn't suit their agenda. So Gene Park had posted Expedition 33's team freely admitted using AI and just won the most awards ever in the Game Awards history. And this happened because Larian's CEO had discussed how they were using generative AI to sort of explore ideas and flesh out PowerPoint presentations. And basically, they said that they're using AI in place of work that human beings don't actually want to do. Whether you like or dislike AI, I think that the way that they're explaining they plan to use AI isn't that big of a deal because it's supposed to be placeholder, it's supposed to be presentations, right? They could pay developers to actually work on the quality of their game and work on the final product. But Gene Park posted about how Expedition 33 did this as well, and it calls into question their big wins at the Game Awards, which is so hilarious because they have always been so desperate to find a way to attack this game that now they have to bring up them using placeholder textures that they had replaced right when the game came out. So the Game Awards had posted about this. Claire Obscure has been pulled into the conversation about Larian's use of Gen AI, and while a lot of people have been posting about how they're upset of Larian's use of AI, some pointed out that Claire Obscure studio Sandfall Interactive wasn't nearly getting as much flack. Back in July, the studio admitted to using AI, but it didn't get much backlash. Instead, it went on to break records at the Game Awards, but they're only showing this one image from Gene Park where he's also not sharing the entire context, where the director said that they were strictly against using creative AI, but how they only used it as a placeholder, and how they say that they are against creative AI. At one point, a question unrelated to the game itself was raised: the role of artificial intelligence in video games. This, of course, refers not to the capabilities of computer opponents, but to the use of creative AI in game development. The topic really stirs up a lot of emotion. On one hand, we have publishers who openly express interest in Gen AI and have even started implementing it in the development process. On another hand, there are plenty of people, especially developers and players, who are at best skeptical about creative AI, and at worst totally against using it in any way. He made it clear that the studio doesn't want AI involved in anything creative and isn't interested in anything made by artificial intelligence. I think that we agree when it comes to anything creative. Our answer is essentially no. It's like taking away all the joy of creating a game. We love making games, we love creating. Creating is one of the most beautiful things people can do. So when it comes to creation, our answer is a firm no. Nothing in the game will come from AI. We state this clearly. It's a firm no. Beyond that, I don't have a formed opinion. Science, responsibility, process, and so on. It doesn't matter to me as long as it works, but when it comes to creative things and things that must come from the heart, for us, it is a no. Now, my stance on AI has always been pretty consistent. I think AI is a perfectly fine tool, though I generally don't like AI replacing human beings. Now, the issue issue we face in the video game industry and entertainment in general is that activists are ruining entertainment by pushing their political propaganda into every piece of work they touch. And AI can do that too. But I don't think that AI being used as a tool is that big of a deal. And I think most people would agree with that. And using AI placeholder text and textures is like the least of our concerns. In a time where there's so much entertainment that's coming out that is bad, that is actually being created 100% by humans like Concord and Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, and Dustboard and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, I'm fine with a game like Expedition 33 that is phenomenal using a little bit of AI textures that, by the way, they also replaced. And so the media isn't even being honest about that. It's not like this game is 75% AI. It had things that were replaced. So you're leaving out these facts because it doesn't suit your agenda. And this is why people do not trust the access media anymore. They have had a personal grudge against Expedition 33 since before it even released, and they still are trying to find these ways to trash it, and really, they just look desperate. This game isn't AAA corporate slop, and so they hate it, because if the AAA companies that exist in the video game industry today get replaced, they will lose the little bit of relevancy that they still have. So they are trying their best to defend these companies and attack indies and AA's, which is pathetic, and I love seeing them get called out on this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it appears as though Claire Obscure used Gen AI for those textures, and they did follow up in a post by saying, excellent, the AI-generated textures were indeed placeholders and were replaced with custom assets. The other AI-generated poster that was present in the starting area, don't have a screenshot of it now, was also removed, and people are bringing that up on this thread. But yeah, I mean, it was all replaced with human-made content, so how are you supposed to sit here and hold this against them? And also, don't forget about the inconsistency in the video game industry, because, oh, you have video game journalists that will trash things like Arc Raiders for using a little bit of AI voice acting, even though they paid real human beings to license their voice, but yet they will praise something like Black Ops and ignore the fact that it uses AI in my opinion, much worse and more significant ways, simply because they need to defend the corpo slop. I'm happy to see this, of course, and I'm more willing to keep an open mind now with their next game, but I still hope for an official statement from them condemning Gen AI. The fact that there were AI posters uses placeholders, that's directly against what they said here, and I don't think that they're going to make another statement. This was initially discussed months and months and months ago, but yeah, you can ultimately blame actually Jason Schreier for leaving out context in the Larian interview that sparked this discussion about the use of AI in video game development. Of course, isn't shocking, but it's the way that it goes, because if they can leave out context to make certain developers look worse, and if they can cause a storm on social media and ultimately turn people against the AA and indie video games and companies, well, they're definitely going to do that, because it means protecting the AAA corps in the industry that they rely on so much. So I'll definitely be keeping my eye on this situation, but they're attacking Larian. They found a way to attack Expedition 33 yet again by leaving out information because it does not suit their agenda, and the journo losers are getting called out on it. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.